As I was just about to head off for a nice relaxing break at the beach after a long old season, Blackburn Rovers decide to release their retain lists, and we'll talk about it next. That's right, folks, back once again with another video, earlier than expected, yes, I admit, but I'm back with it, and we'll talk about the old retain list in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, smash your subscribe button to get you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, championship related, woo, football related. We're going to all here under one roof. Like a bad penny, I am back, or bad smell, I'm back on the scene. Obviously, it's a bit of news, so I thought I'd do a video about it. The old retain list released by Blackburn Rovers, and some big old decisions being made down at the club by the gaffer, by the club as a whole. And it's left me a little bit concerned, or a little bit of a bad aftertaste, because I was hoping for a bit of a clear out. I already made my own buy, keep or sell video on the channel. If you want to check that sucker out, I'll leave a link in the old description down below. But ultimately, a few players' contracts were up for grabs, and a lot of them were in the questionable bracket. I might make my own calls on it, but there's been a few interesting decisions decided about it. So let's just take a look at those humongous decisions that have gone on at the club. So first and foremost, some of these might not be too surprising. We have Charlie Albinson, who was a young academy goalkeeper on the ranks. I didn't know too much about him, but he is gone. He's in the old gone column here. And joining him will be George Wilson, yet another academy player. I don't know too much about these boys. Maybe I heard a little bit about the goalie, Charlie Albinson, back in the day when he actually joined the academy. But yeah, George Wilson joins him. But this guy, Kyle Connell, I did hear some rave reviews about him. I think we picked him up from Falkirk's academy, and some even what's his name, the old Dicko in the old press, Alan Nixon. He was talking him up, saying he was going to be the next big thing, or one of the next big things out in Scotland. But he is gone now into the old development squad, and joining those three will be Jack Doyle. He's on his ear. Yes, that's a bit of a surprising factor as well. Again, he's been at the club. Again, maybe it's his age, or it was kind of running out of time for him. But he is gone. And then joining him, a guy that I've kind of kept an eye on in the development squad is Lewis Mansell. I do remember him scoring bucket loads of goals for the youth teams for Rovers. And I thought, you know what, this guy could go all the way. I think he went out on loan, correct me if I'm wrong, to some non-league teams recently. I don't know how. I never checked back on his stats, but yeah, it's a shame, because I had high aspirations for that youngster to maybe make it through and join the likes of Joe Nuttall or Butterworth or Buckley and all that kind of good stuff, coming through the ranks and competing for a spot. And then the first and only recognised first team player that is absolutely out the door, no surprise really, is Paul Downing. Yeah. Now we do have a bit of a defensive crisis over at Ewood Park, so this one is a little bit. It's not strange completely, because I hope to see us to bring in about 2 or 3 defenders. If I'm completely honest with you, maybe 2 centre backs. And then maybe a right back to compete with Nyambe, because I'm sick and tired of playing square pegs in round holes. I don't think Bennett is not a right back. Travis is not a right back. Harrison Reed was not a right back. I know they've played there in their history, but we need to start playing tried and tested people that have come through and been in that position their entire footballing career in those spots. And it winds me up. I know Darragh Lenihan might be the exception to the rule, because I believe he started off as a defensive midfielder, but he's proven to be, at his age, it's still got a chance to convert him into a player that you want. Whereas you stick on an aging veteran, in a way, he might not be that old, but he's getting on a bit. Charlie Mulgrew, for example, again, a midfielder by trade, sticking him at centre back. So this letting our only recognised by trade first team centre back go is, it could hopefully lead to something, which means hopefully the gaffer's gonna bring in some recognised centre backs to fill in the void, because that's definitely an area that we need to improve. If we start the new season with no changes at centre back, and we are still plugging the holes with Derek Williams, Darragh Lenihan, Charlie Mulgrew, and Magalore from the development squad, if that's our centre back core, then we're going to be up the creek without a paddle. So those were only the 6 players actually binned off by Rovers. Now that also leaves me into some questions about the contractless players. Or the players that contracts are expiring this summer, and let's bring on to those. So first and foremost, we are in talks with Craig Conway. Right, he is an aging guy, and to be honest with you, the majority, including myself, thought that he'd played his last game for Rovers, but the rumours are out there that he is in discussions with the club about a new deal. Oh my goodness! Now this, he's a quality player and everything like that, but my mentality on these, because you'll see the full roster of the players that we're in talks about in just a second, but if we're talking to Craig Conway about extending his stay, it kind of leads me up the path about, what kind of transfer budget do we actually have? Are we trying to clamber around and just, or is it the transfer market itself? Is it so expensive to bring in new players for the club that we're going to try and keep what we got for another season and just kind of tread water a little bit? Because that is not what I was expecting after a decent first season back in the Championship. So Craig Conway is in talks with the club. Next one is not too bad. Jack Rodwell, I think he's still got something to offer. He's still on the right side of 30, 28, I think his age is. He could play in a couple of spots. Again, we don't really want to go down there, but if he could up his game and be a big bad boy boss man midfielder, then maybe him and Travis could be the partnership that we've been crying out for since the middle of last season. So I'm not too bothered about this one. Again, it's just about wages. I don't want to see him getting offered crazy money, and that reduces the option of bringing in another guy. So again, I would say maybe extend his deal for a year, perhaps. So I'm not too bothered about that one. Next one we have, definitely an interesting one, Ben Gladwin. Now I can see two sides of this coin. The one side is my actual opinion. I don't think he should be offered a new deal because when given a chance, he's failed to deliver. But on the flip side of that coin, how many opportunities has he had to deliver? He's been injured since he's got here, but that also raises his own concerns. That is he going to be another injury prone? Are we going to renew his contract for another season and he's going to be out of action for 3/4 of that season and be on the sick bed for the majority of it? Because some players are like that. Think Jack Wilshere, who's now at West Ham. Think at some other players. Owen Hargreaves back in the day. Players that are often out of action due to injuries and likely to pick up serious injuries. We could renew his contract, play pre-season, and he'll get injured once again, and we're stuck with so many. I don't know how much money he'll get paid. Maybe £4,000-5,000 a week to keep him on the books, to keep the physio in action. Get him out of the old the cookie cupboard. I'm not too sure about that, to be honest with you. I think 2 of those 3 should have been binned off, and then the final piece of the puzzle, the last name on the list, was Jason Lautweiler, and according to my understanding, he's been given another deal, another year. Stay at Ewood Park. Now, I've got nothing against the guy. In fact, I like him pretty much. I've got nothing against him whatsoever. But to be honest with you, if our goalkeeping ranks are going to be David Raya, Jason Lautweiler, and Andy Fisher moving into next season, I don't think much is going to change in regards to putting Raya under pressure. Yes, Lautweiler kept a couple of clean sheets, but he is probably League One at best. He should be starting games in League One. I don't think he's going to be pushed. So I'm happy for him to stay. Don't get me wrong. I think he's an all right dude, but sentimentality and all that kind of good stuff should go out the window. I think we should be bringing in a keeper who's going to be pushing flipping Raya all the way for that number 1 jersey. I don't think Jason Lautweiler is that dude. I think he could be pushing for a third choice goalkeeper, but is realistically as a goalkeeper of that age, do you want to be a third choice goalkeeper? I don't think so. So unless something else is going on behind the scenes, is there's some transfer bid for David Raya lingering around that could eventually see Raya leave, and then we get another first team goalkeeper in there. I would be very surprised to see if that happens. But ultimately, the 1 year extension to Lautweiler has me a bit baffled. And it has me a bit baffled about the whole grand scheme of things. If we've just letting 5 under 23 players go and 1 centre back and trying to keep the rest, what does that mean for the grand plan moving forward? Are we just trying to keep what we got and maybe pick up 1 or 2 extra players? Because I think we definitely need more than that. I am happy with the youth squad. I think we've got quite a few exciting youngsters moving forward, but to be honest with you, I don't think that's going to get us into the top half of the table and in those dizzy aspirations of getting into the playoffs. So we need more players coming in, and I don't know what's going on with the fact that these 3 players who are sitting in the in-talk bracket here, who could be pushed into the staying column in a week or two, what that means for Rovers moving forward. But anyway, that is the latest news coming out of Ewood Park in regards to the first team squad. What do you think about it? Do you think Lautweiler should be staying as a goalkeeper on the books for Rovers? What does that mean for David Raya? What does it mean for the pursuit of another experienced goalkeeper? Because for me, I don't see us having 3 goalkeepers over the age of 22 on the books competing for 1 jersey. I don't think that's the way a championship club in our situation should be doing it. I can see, I remember when Man United last year. I know it's completely we're nowhere near comparing ourselves to Manchester United, but I remember them bringing in Lee Grant last season to come in to compete with Romero, or to add an extra pair of hands between the sticks for Romero and De Gea. So I don't know what's going to happen here with the goalkeepers. That's left me a little bit baffled. But anyway, that's just a quick update of the retain list at Blackburn Rovers. Let me hear your thoughts and opinions about the retain list. What you expect moving forward. What would you hope moving forward? And like I said, I did my own buy, keep or sell a couple of days ago. So if you want to check that sucker out, there is a link to that baby in the description below. Moving forward, as the transfer window is now open, it's now live. I'll try and bring you at least weekly updates if we have any of any transfer business moving forward, because I think I've got to keep the Rovers content going. It won't be as frequent as obviously the normal season, but maybe a weekly update, or every 2 weeks I'll bring you an update such as this. And this video today will kind of kick off the launch of my new thumbnail style for the new season, because I didn't expect to do it right now, but I'm going to do it anyway. So the thumbnail for this should look like a brand. Moving forward, it'll be very similar thumbnails for other stuff. You'll see what I mean. Well, I hopefully see what I mean when it comes around. But anyway, I'm going to let you get out of it. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Smash the thumbs up. If you're new, smash subscribe. I'm also on Twitter and Facebook. Links to those suckers in the description below. Also is my link to my Patreon page, boys and girls. So check that sucker out. We're trying to push on and try and get into the 10,000 subscriber bracket. That'd be great if we can get there by the end of May. It's an ambitious effort. But anyway, the season's only 10 days gone, 10, 11 days gone. I hope to bring you some more updated news, positive news moving forward. But until then, I'm going to let you get out of here. Thumbs up, subscribe. Ciao for now. Thanks again for watching. Please like, share, and most importantly, hit the subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, championship related, football related. We've got it all covered right under one roof. And while I still have you, please be sure to check out some of the old videos scattered along here. I hope.